Guys, do you need some training wheels in the bedroom? We all do a little bit. You need a little help. Well, through Hims, you can get some gas back in the tank with personalized ED treatment options that are accessible without ever stepping foot into a doctor's office, which is great. Start your free trial online. Visit today at hims.com/Yannis, YANNIS. That's HIMS.com/Yannis for your personalized ED treatment options. Hims.com/Yannis. The featured products include compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for detailed restrictions and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the baby long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Get his kids screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Yannis Pappas Hour. Sorry about the break. The special came out. It's out right now. YouTube.com/History Hyenas. Go watch my newest stand-up special, Property Owner. Go check it out. But it is good to be back. I had to go to LA. I had to go to Austin. I didn't see any evidence of the fires because I am not rich enough to see it. It only hit the rich areas. That fire, if it had a name, would be Luigi Mangione. It's a socialist fire. It actually formed the face of Mao over the Malibu hills. It really only hit the rich, and I just wasn't in those areas, so LA just looked like the dump that it always is to me. It just looks like Long Island with sun and Mexicans. That's all it is. But the food is great in Los Angeles, I have to say, and you can't eat healthier in Los Angeles. It's just, they're very health conscious over there, and the product is just fresher because, California, what is California? The fourth biggest economy in the world as a state. There's only 3 countries that have a bigger economy than California. It is a self-sustaining landmass of a state that has food, wine, whatever you want. It all grows there, Even, it's just got everything you need. Your dreams, everything. It's a great state. It's beautiful. People always think of LA, and there's beautiful parts of LA. You got the Pacific Ocean, so that is where the Chinese will invade. I also like that. It's a nice buffer. I like being on the East Coast where Europe's over here, and Greenland, our Greenland. And that's it. We're never going to get invaded by Greenland. We're never getting invaded by Europe. We're going to be invaded from within. No. So it's got a 4.1 or something trillion dollar economy over there in California. So I do love California. And as far as cities go, LA's one of the better ones. I'm just a New York chauvinist. That's what it is. New York, for me, is just where I like to be, where I will reside. And then I went to Austin, and it was way too hot. But I had a great time doing Kill Tony. That episode will be coming out next week if you're watching this. And it was a great time. And bad friends and stuff like that to promote the special. So I did all the goodies, and I'm doing more. Go check out Property Owner. Thank you for everyone who's watched, who is watching, who will watch. Thank you to everybody who worked on the special. I'm putting out singles too, because I know if you don't want to watch the whole thing, there's a joke on my Instagram or whatever it is, or whatever we use till AI takes over or whatever. But I'm just glad there's drama. This show is about finding the drama and talking about it because, hey, I need a vehicle to talk to you every week to promote my stand-up dates. And that's what we do. And I got a lot of stand-up dates coming up. I should be on the road a lot. And you can come see me whenever you want in these places. Providence, Rhode Island in July, Tampa, August, Bakersfield, California, October, Toronto, October 18th, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 24th and 25th, Bozeman, Montana, which I'm excited about because Montana's beautiful. I'll probably go like a couple days early just to see Montana because I'll never do that again. And then Stamford, Connecticut. Those are the dates that are on the books right now. More being added. I'm going to be working on new material, so come and check that out. And of course, the Yannis Pappas Hour will continue. Also, History Hyenas. Go check those 2 shows out. Mine and that. I'm on both shows. So that's how it is. Here you get a little solo taste, and there you get a little me and Chrissy just Googling shit to talk about and going wild off of that. But you learn a little something in the process, and that's very nice. And it's been an interesting couple of weeks out there. Nothing different going on, except for the fact that Elon Musk and Donald Trump they've had a split up. It must be the vaccine. I don't know what happened, but they're both having side effects. It doesn't look like they're BFF anymore. And Forbes put out an article that Elon Musk is indeed an absolute ketamine addict. Now, is this slander or is it a truth? We don't know. He also showed up with a black eye to the White House. So I don't know. Maybe one of his wives hit him. I mean, the kid does live like a Mormon. He has a Mormon lifestyle. He's sort of a transhumanist Mormon, which is very ironic because he's trying to transcend being a human on this planet, but he's living like some of the most backwards people that we still have in this country. Mormons! He's got 12 wives, something like that. He's either a Mormon or an NBA player. That's his lifestyle, but he did show up with a black eye, and Macron did get punched by his boyfriend. I don't know if she's a man. But the funny thing is, there is this movement online to call everyone a man. They say Chuck Schumer's wife is a man. They say Obama's wife is a man. And Macron's wife is a man. I don't know. Is she a man? I don't know. It's fun. I will say it's fun to talk about. And that just... Hi, guys. So who knows, whatever, maybe he was a little upset and he threw a pejorative at him or her, that maybe he was upset that his wife couldn't get it up. And, you know, what is it going to do? I mean, I think it may have been a plant story to distract from the fact that they met when he was like 15 and she was like 40. But, I mean, what are you going to do? They're French. I look at it as just they're French. They're French. You're going to fall in love with your teacher. Your teacher's going to fall in love with your student. You're going to cheat on your wife. You're going to have a pet-a-terre. You're going to have a little pet-a-terre in Paris where you bang Parisian hookers. It's just what they do. They have armpit hair. It's more attractive. You're going to cut off your ear in Paris and give it to a hooker. It's just they're different. They got dirty mirrors. They got stinky cheese. They eat snails. And they like to fuck. And they like passion and romance. They're just not great at defending their country. And that's what they are. It's a largely Muslim country now. It's also still French. They're all mixing up. They're getting along great. I know there was a lot of riots in Paris. We don't know why. We don't know. It was either soccer hooligans or Muslims. Let's be honest. When there's riots in England, it's going to be one of the two. I don't know what they were about, but they happened. And they burned a lot of shit, millions of euros in damage, and who knows what it was about. All I can say is I didn't read a thing about it, but I know it's one of two options. It's one of the two. Was it soccer hooligans or, let's be honest. I'm not saying they didn't have a right to, I don't know. I'm not placing judgment. I just don't know. I just don't know who it was. It was the soccer hooligans. As Paris descends into chaos after PSG's Champions League win. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Why are they rioting over soccer? What is wrong with them? I'm so glad that we created a new version over here. We are a new version of Europe over here. And I'm glad about that. And the problem is they're just using the old version. Europe is the iPhone 12. And, you know, we are the iPhone, what are we up to, 60? What's that fucking scam that Apple runs? We're up to the iPhone 16. Oh, this camera's a little sharper. So, the Eagles too. Well, Philadelphia, they're not human. So it's the closest you'll come. Places like Philadelphia, Buffalo, it doesn't happen all over like it does in Europe, where it's just all over. They riot, they throw bananas on the field, they do all types of shit that's just, you can't do here. They do this over there, but this just means you're autistic now. Cory Booker did something similar too. If you're asking me, I do see the difference, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to argue with you. I see the difference between that and just this, and Cory Booker did this, so they're saying he did that too. But to me, there's a difference between Cory Booker went like this, and then he did a double hand, and he did that. We did a whole bit on it on the show where we broke down the nuance of it. There is a difference. Even a pat changes it. If it's a pat, Jesse, a soft pat, and then it's different than a. So, but I don't want to get into it because it just means the kid's autistic. All the Nazis were actually autistic. It's misunderstood. I don't know. Be a Nazi. not be a Nazi. I don't care, okay? I just know we're in an era now where there's 3 types of Nazis, okay? The first type of Nazis are old school, retro, nostalgic Nazis. And then you have your own The Libs Nazi, where I'm doing it as a troll. And then you got your ironic Nazis. That's like your trucker hat Nazis. That's like the hipster wearing the trucker hat. So whichever one of the 3 you are, good for you. I'm done talking about Nazis. I've had enough. It's just different to me, but not to you. It's fine. They're both Nazis. Everyone's a Nazi or they're not a Nazi. Who gives a fuck? I'm more interested now in the black eye. Elon Musk has become the gift that doesn't stop giving. Who shows up to the Oval Office with a Doge shirt, Doge hat, and a black eye? And we don't know what the black eye is. There's some rumors that maybe he got into a fight with the Secretary of Treasury, the Secretary of Treasury. Who knows what it was? He claims it was his son, who he said hit me in the face, and then his son did hit him in the face. Here's the reason why I don't believe that. I don't believe he's met his sons. So I just don't. I think he's only concerned about one kid, and that kid is the one that became a girl. And that's the only one he can remember the name of because of the negativity bias. It's the one troll that he remembered because of the negativity bias. So it's just what it is. It's just one critique. It's the one face in the crowd that's not laughing. Is his trans child. Kid gave birth. Bleep it. So who knows? But he does have a black eye. But then afterwards, after coming to the White House and standing like an imperial general behind Darth Vader, I mean, you just can't notice it. I'm not implying it. I'm just saying it's the way he just stands behind him. I mean, what are we doing? Can we get the guy a fucking chair? Like, why is he just standing behind him like he's checking IDs at a club? He looks like security. He looks like Trump's security. What is this? What is this thing that they're doing where he just stands behind him and just sits there and goes like this? You seen him doing those things? You haven't seen the videos where he's like, pull those up. He's just.
Was he nodding off?
Yeah, he's like, and he's doing this thing where he's just like, it's so obvious he's on drugs. Because like my friend Jesse Scaturo says, nobody is that good of an actor. Nobody is that good of an actor. So if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, eventually it's a duck. He's just going like this. There's like multiple videos where he's standing there and the kid is just getting a buzz. And and Trump just talks, and then he left that meeting, and much like Trump, 2 very busy guys have a lot of time to get their fingers on that pad, on that digital pad on X, and just have at it. And he goes on there and he just blasts Trump's big, beautiful bill, and he blasts the GOP for voting for it. So the schism that we knew was going to happen between the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church has happened. The great schism of 2025 has occurred between MAGA and our friend Elon Musk. And he's tweeting and he's attacking the big, beautiful bill. Is it what it's called? Big, beautiful black cock. He called it a disgusting abomination. And he's at odds, and he's also left. He's no longer, but he says he's going to advise. Nothing's being codified from Doge. There's a report that Trump uttered in a meeting, so was Doge just a big waste of time? But then the other people will say it's probably the politicians who are not allowing these Doge cuts to come into effect. Then you got what's the YouTube? You got Bono going on Rogan and saying that like 30,000 or 300,000. Who counts? When the numbers get that big, it's just death. That because of these U.S. aid cuts, a lot of people have starved and stuff like that, and a lot of independent agencies have confirmed that because like we talked about on the show before, U.S. aid is a tool of American soft power and influence, and if you do that, you leave a vacuum for the Chinese. But we're not in the world of nuance anymore, and it's just what it is. And of course, Israel and Palestine is still making people rich by yelling these utopian slogans. in my opinion, just prolong the situation. You're looking for a real solution. If you really cared about the Palestinians, you would come up with a solution that was based in reality now, not in this like fucking who's wrong, who's right. It just seems easy and hack to go who's wrong, who's right. That's just going to keep the conflict going. You got to go, okay, what kind of hard thing can we do to save lives? I've often referenced the brutal, morally wrong population exchange between Greeks and Turks at the end of the Great War to just make everyone unhappy, to do something wrong, but end the fucking violence. Because it's just not going to work. It's not going to work if we just continue yelling who's right, who's wrong. Because let me tell you again, everyone's yelling because morality gets people riled up, but I got a little truth to give you. Israel ain't leaving. How do you like them apples? They're not going anywhere. I'm not saying that it's a good thing, bad thing, sideways thing, other way. They just ain't leaving. They're in. They ain't going nowhere. It's not going to stop. They're not going to stop. Also, the other Arab countries around ain't going to help. They're not going to help because you know what Israel's got? They got a nuke. Also, if America stops giving Israel assistance, yeah, I agree with you. Or stops letting Israel fucking dictate our foreign policy, which they undoubtedly have by us going into Iraq and fucking Iran and Libya. And it turned out brutal for us because Netanyahu's always going to the fucking Congress going like, we need regime change. We need regime. And then we do it. And then it turns out shitty. So stop doing that. But also, if we stop fucking helping them or whatever it is, it's complicated. I mean, it's bad to help because they use it for murder. I get it. We do it everywhere in the world, though. But then you fucking leave them alone. And you know what they're going to do? You don't understand. They're zealots, too. And they're going to fucking fire that nuke. Right? If Iran or fucking Yemen, why do you think this war is being fought through these terror groups on the streets? Because Israel's got a nuke. There's only one Arab country that has a nuke, okay? And that's Pakistan. And that's it. If you want more countries that are theocracies to get nukes, let's keep that limited. The one thing, okay, great. Spirituality's great. But theocracies, if you see, you just want to, if a country's not so big on the separation between state and religion, you definitely want to do everything to prevent them from getting a nuke. Israel, it's too late. They have one. And they're not a full theocracy, but it's still very heavy in there. And they make me nervous just as much as Pakistan makes me nervous. Because Israel will fire the nuke because they believe they're going to Ari Shafir's fucking house after they die. And I don't remember how the religion works, but fucking whatever. There's no hell. So that's why they do evil. I've told you that. I don't know. But they got zealots there too. Those settlers and all that shit, that zealot. We're trying to fucking contain zealots. We're trying to contain the problem. You can't get rid of them. So you got to contain them. So I don't know if you want Israel on its own because Israel's policies are based on trauma, right? They're a bunch of fucking people who've been kicked around and now they got their spot. You ain't giving it up. They ain't giving it up. And they will respond very hard if you attack them. So my thing would be, you might want to stop doing that. You might want to just stop doing that. I know they do fucked up shit, but there's got to be another way to handle it than to continue to fucking, engage with these people with military force because they go fucking hard. They go fucking hard. They act like, that dude who, there's a famous thing on the internet where some pedophile killed his kid's son and they're transporting the prisoner via airplane and he's coming off the airplane and the guy's at the phone booth. He just turns around. That's Israel. You fucking kill any of them in their borders, they're just going to go ham. So that's what we're seeing. They're acting like a parents whose kids was killed and that's just how they are. So you can argue all you want, but unless you have to accept the reality of that's just who they are. So there's got to be another way. There's got to be another way because they will fucking go. They will find your beeper number. They'll get in your phone, and the next thing you know, you're on the floor fucking slopping up someone's. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they're gonna do some shit. So it's like, I don't know, dude. There's got to come a point where you're going like, there's all this land over there. How do we? Israel wants this. We'll make a thing and just move some people so the fucking death stops. I truly want the death, the suffering to stop. And is Israel wrong? Yes, Israel's wrong. They're killing fucking children and women and citizens. But also Hamas is fucking firing from there. So it's a complicated situation. That's how war is. Israel goes, we got to get them out. We're not putting people on the street because we play into their hand and kills us, so we're going to fucking lob shit. It's a horrible thing. And you can easily say, well, Hamas should have thought of that. But what Hamas was hoping for was that the whole Arab world would rise up like they do in these Arab Springs, and all the countries would attack again, which has happened. You don't think Israel, you got to imagine, you got to put yourself in the Israeli shoes. They came in there, okay, however they came in there, they came in there. All right, they started by buying fucking land from absentee Ottoman overlords, who nobody has a problem with. They were also occupiers. But I don't want to get to that. I've already covered that. Okay, I've already covered that. And then, yes, they had little terrorist groups and there was things and they did bad stuff and they displaced people and the fucking thing, whatever happened. But we're here. We're here. What country wasn't formed that way? Which one? Which one wasn't formed in displacement and bloodshed? Which one was not? All right? Nobody gives a shit about the Turks in Cyprus. They let them stay. They illegally occupied. But nobody gives a shit about that because they came in, they partitioned it, and they got the UN in there, whatever you got to do. All right? So just do what you got to do to stop the fucking killing. Israel threatens to act accordingly as Greta Thunberg frolics on sailing boat heading to Gaza. We are prepared. What does that mean? Are they going to kill Greta Thunberg? Stop fucking with these people. They're small, they're traumatized, and they act accordingly. That's my point, is they got attacked by every Arab country, like, what was it, 3 times? Jesse, how many times? 67. They're traumatized. They're surrounded. So they figured the best deal with that is brutally. They don't think going like, hey, so it's just accept it. Just accept it. It's different than being over here and yelling shit because you're not under the threat of constant rockets coming in you. That's how they handle shit. So maybe we fund it differently. I don't know. But I do know it does get you rich. I do know the constant back and forth when you have no skin in the game because you're in another country is engaging for people. So that'll continue, and that's all I'm going to say about that because we got a lot of interesting things to talk about with this big, beautiful bill. Guys, let's be honest. Are you a candidate for HIMSS? If it was an election, would you run for office? I mean, you got trouble with your wood? Is your wood warped? Are you having trouble? Do you need a little help in the bedroom? Well, HIMSS has got you covered. It's changing men's health care by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. That's what it's about. Convenience, no uncomfortable visits. That's really great. It provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatment options like chewable tablets, Viagra and Cialis, and their generics for up to 95% less. So it's a no-brainer. It's cheaper. It's private. What else do you want? The process 100% online. Okay? Just fill out an intake form on their site, and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you, again, for free. No insurance is needed. Another bonus. No, it's just one low price that covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, HIMSS can help you find the ED option that works for you. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Yannis. That's HIMS.com/Yannis for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/Yannis. The featured products include compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan. Guys, if you know me, you know that I love my nicotine, and Lucy has hooked me up. This happens to be my favorite flavor right here, espresso. I love to have it with my coffee. It's like a second cup of coffee with my nicotine need, and I just bang it out. They also got the breakers, and this is a breaker right here, so it gives you an extra little explosion of flavor when you bite down on it. It's a lot of fun, and they're just a superior product if you like nicotine. So what you got to do, okay, is level up your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/Yannis and use promo code Yannis, Yannis, to get 20% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind, which you won't if you love nicotine. Right here. I use them. I'm a user. I'm not also the hair club president. I'm also a client. So you know you can trust me. Again, that's lucy.co. Use the code Yannis to get 20% off right now. It's also nice just to have the subscription. It's always, you keep up. You need what your nicotine needs. I hate having to run to the gas station and stuff like that. With Lucy, you just keep ordering and they come right to you. And here comes the fine print, my friends. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Is it going through? It passed the Senate, right?
The House.
The House. So now it's just the Senate?
Yep.
And what is the projections? Will it pass? Are there enough GOP who are against it because of how much it's estimated to cost in government spending? So essentially what's happening, if you don't know, which you probably do, but I'll just sum it up in a sentence or two, is the whole pitch was we're gonna stop spending. We got a spending problem, which is what we really do have, is a spending problem. So Trump was like, we're gonna put the kibosh on that. As it turns out, we're not gonna put the kibosh on that. We're doing the tax cuts, and we're throwing you a bone, saying we're throwing these tariffs on there, which is really just a tax on the American people. We know, but the government's going to say we're collecting revenue that way. But as it turns out, all the economists are saying it's not even putting a dent in the bucket, dear Liza, and our spending will continue to increase just like every president does, Republican or Democrat. It's a nonpartisan thing. When you get in office, you get in power. You like to make yourself rich, and you don't give a fuck about the spending. You just pass the buck to the next guy. So that's the flaw in democracy. Let's really talk about is the spending, okay? Because if I know I'm in 4 years in a job and I got 4 years, I'm going to make myself rich, and I am going to go. What are you going to do? And just pass the buck, just like they did in 2008 with the banks. Pass the buck up. It's a Ponzi scheme. You just pass it. Oh, I don't know. I'll take money from this guy to put it to this guy and let the next guy figure it out. And so that's what they're doing. There's no product. They're not selling anything concrete. They're selling you a dream. They're selling you a dream that we can have it all. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and the biggest military budget by far in the world. We can have it all. Chuck Schumer's salary is something around what? What is the government salary? Is it like $100,000, $200,000, $300,000? Yeah. Okay? Which is basically a low salary for a comedian now. There's too many rich comedians. And I think his estimated worth is $100 million, $50 million. What is it?
85 million.
85 million. What in the hell is that? What in the hell is that? If you took away the ability to, you talk about reform, there's one reform you can do that will make the people who go into office more pious. Because anyone who would want to go into office would, by definition, be more pious. Because if you just took away their ability to engage in the stock market while they are privy to the interaction between the public sector and the private sector, these people, Chuck Schumer, would not run for office again. It would just be over. How is this not insider trading? I just don't know. How did he make his money? Let's just see, how has he made his money? And I'm going to guess it has something to do with a little thing called investment.
He's been in office for 50 years.
50 years. So how in office how are you worth $100 million?
On a government
How
salary.
are you Nate Bargatze all of a sudden? On a government salary, a civil service salary. How did you get $85 million? How? I know how Joe Rogan got it. I know how Nate Bargatze got it. Market-driven demand. Who is clamoring for whatever Chuck Schumer is selling? How did he get this money? Did he start a company? What's he selling? Where's the money coming from?
There's no answers, dude.
His primary source of income is his salary. He practiced law? Okay. I know what that salary is. If you're my mother, it's zero. That was kind of a spit in the face to my father too. You're gonna get all those degrees, but you're still gonna live on me. We're still gonna be a one fucking income household, even though you're a lawyer too, because you care about the children in Africa.
Uh-oh.
How about helping out with the fucking tuition, lady? And then you get divorced and you take all the money? What the fuck?
We're not in
They're
therapy.
both dead. I can talk openly.
I just want to remind you, we're not in your therapy session. We're on a pod.
I know. I just wanted to say. I mean, why do the women get all the money?
Yeah, it happens.
You know? Anyway, I'm not defending because it is what it is. They deserve it. They raise the kids. He practiced. His wife, Iris, who in their defense, she does kind of look like a man in a dress. But what people do forget when they do these trans conspiracies are there's just some ugly women in the world. I mean, not every ugly woman is a man. It's just a dog show. It's possible. I mean, the kids, I don't like talking about people's wives. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right, but I'm doing it to make a bigger point. I'm not going to point out the individual rights. I'm just saying some people are unfortunate looking, objectively. And we're looking at one right now. And I'm just going to say as an overall, because let's be honest, some of the women in question, they're not supermodels. They're not the ideal that we've been sold of femininity. I mean, it's what it is. Some women do have the bodies of, male cashiers, and that's just what it is. Some people just, is she a man? This picture here, I say no. But then when I see a full body picture of Macron's wife, she does have arms as long as Allen Iverson's. And she's not a short woman. So I don't know. When she talks, she doesn't sound trans. Because usually you can tell a little bit in the voice. Like, we represent the lollipop kids. She sounds like a woman, but look at her arms, dog. She's got a wingspan of 7'6". Allen Iverson type arms, like a long, short, but a long wingspan. So they're claiming that this is him.
This is altered.
Or it's altered. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I don't think so, but I think a lot of people in France do think so, but they got that tabloid culture over there. There's supposedly a brother or uncle or something that just kind of fell out of I don't know. There's a picture. She looks like a brother or uncle or something. But then she has like 3 kids. She's just like 3 kids, but then they find out a reason for that. It's like it's somebody else's kids, and I don't know. Are they all lizard people? Maybe. I don't know. Do you know anything about this conspiracy on the Candace show?
No, I know it sells ads.
I know in a court of law, I know it sells ads, which is true. That's a truth that you can't deny, is that whether it's true or not, it sells ads. In fact, I think it sells more ads if you don't know whether it's true. Because if it's true, people just lose interest because enlarge the attraction to it is figuring it out, right? Like wondering. There was no resistance if she just came out and said, hey, my name used to be Don. Then it's over. There's no more resistance. So there's no more fun. There's no more fun in it. I don't know anything about it because I got to admit, I'm better than you. I'm not intrigued by this feminine gossip about people. I don't care. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I know nothing about it. Everyone is all into this shit. It usually gets people with women brains into, it's mostly women who tune in to this shit because, like Charlie Murphy said to me, gossip is feminine behavior. It just is. When you're doing those sort of personal life, what's this? It's just kind of feminine behavior a little bit. And we all do it to a certain extent. But when you get into this territory, I just don't know. Guys, if you're a listener to the show, you know I love CBD. I'm big on it. I get anxious. You know what I do? I pop a CBD and I feel calm. And I love feeling calm. And CBD is awesome. And now I have found the best company, my favorite, cornbreadhemp.com. It is the best. Makes you feel really, really nice and calm. They use only the best part of the hemp plant, the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD. No fillers, no junk. Just full spectrum goodness right now. Just go check it. If you love CBD like I love CBD, go to cornbreadhemp.com/Yannis, YANNIS. You know the deal. Use the code Yannis at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/Yannis with the code Yannis to get 30% off your first order. I love it. You know, Alien Babe. Remember the National Enquirer? Who bought the National Enquirer? The data's out. It's like 89% women. Who buys People magazine? Okay. What are those? Who buys it? I mean, we're just talking facts here. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm just giving you the data. Almost entirely women are into this level of fucking sensationalist gossip. And it's just what it is. And I will say it's usually women who don't got a lot going on. Women without jobs, women who are at home a lot. So I would assume the men or the young people who are into this type of fucking nonsense don't have a lot going on. I mean, it's so obvious. If you got time to get into the fucking weeds of this shit, what are you doing? Are you going to the gym? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have goals and dreams? Do you have hobbies? The fuck are you doing? This is 6-year-old or like bored housewife bullshit. But I'm talking about it because it's in the zeitgeist. Because I think in large part we have it so good in the West. We just need things to talk about to entertain each other with content because we've all kind of become feminized women. I should be chopping wood right now, but instead I'm doing skits. So I'm guilty of it as well. And here I am gossiping, and I'm gossiping about gossipers. So we're in the Matrix because I'm doing the thing that I'm saying everyone's guilty of. So when you can't beat them, join them. And is she a man? Let's get into it. Let's get into the weeds. Let's get into the weeds. I, too, am a bottom-feeding leech. Who needs to talk about people who have a little more visibility than I do? And such is the American economy at present until AI makes us all evolved. I don't know what the evidence is, but supposedly there's some compelling evidence that her, Michelle Obama, and Chuck Schumer's wives are all men. My only counterpoint is the one I already made. Maybe they're just dogs. Although Michelle Obama, depending on the day, when she was younger, now she is starting to look a little... I don't know.
You're doing it again.
I'm doing it again. Everyone's got their own taste. Love is in the eye of the beholder. Also, if she is, does it matter? Does it matter? I mean, it's interesting because and then the conservatives who are into it will go, it matters a lot. But really what they're saying is I don't like Macron's politics. That's what it really is. Yeah, and evinced by the fact that Glenn Greenwald just came out licking loogies off the floor, but he happens to be being critical of Israel. So people are going like, let his personal life stay personal. But when Hunter Biden was banging chicks and smoking, and also there was a methamphetamine pipe in the video. Glenn Greenwald.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a pipe there. And you know that type of behavior is coming with a little toke. There's going to be a toke. There's going to be some poppers involved. You know what poppers are? What are poppers? You cut off the oxygen or something? Just heighten the orgasm?
Yeah, it's something for sex.
Yeah.
I don't know what the drug is.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I see is a little hypocrisy in that I'm going to try one of these espresso Lucy's.
Go for it.
Which, they're so good. It's like another cup of coffee with your nicotine, 2 in 1. You didn't even have to pay for that sentence. I'm just, I'm not only the hair club president, I'm also a client. I said that all wrong. I'm not only the hair club president, I'm also a client. What's that?
So this happened when we were on the break also. So this was supposedly cocaine paraphernalia that Macron, and this is the...
Oh, I saw this video.
This? Yeah.
And then he covered it up with his hand, right?
Yeah. This happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And that's, what is that? Germany,
This is
Britain,
right?
Germany, and France just sharing a little blow.
Just sharing, yeah, little ha-hoots,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he puts something in his pocket.
Then he just palms it.
Yeah, but I don't know, dude. I don't think they're going to leave coke on the table when the cameras come in. Or maybe that's what drug addicts do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a little oopsie.
I don't know. We're focused on all the right things. But it's fun. It is fun. It's fun. Even my rant, I acknowledge I'm a hypocrite. Well, to a certain extent. I don't get into the weeds like this unless it's really going to give me big numbers. We get into the weeds. I mean, you got to. That's the formula, right? It's like you put the name of the person who actually people care about in the title, and then you talk about that person. So people are tuning in because they know that person. So then you just kind of ride. You ride like a tick on the body. It's like you're ticks. We're all ticks. I'm just riding right now on the fucking trans stuff I think it's got a term now, this trans conspiracy, because they keep adding people who they think are men. I mean, it just you go down the rabbit hole. I saw one where they think Caitlin Clark is a man. And legit, well, what about this chick? She plays good. So, I mean, Brittany Griner, I think we know is a guy. I mean, I don't think she's a guy. But she may take T. She may be trans man. Yeah, it's called transvestigation.
New podcast topic.
Yeah. Do you think the internet has made everyone a little gossipy?
Yes.
Big time, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just scroll and look at other people's lives and what's going on with them.
Yeah, and do you think it's a little feminine behavior? Typically, traditionally.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Men didn't used to do this to the extent that they do this.
No.
So I'm just noticing that. I'm not saying it's bad, good, or whatever. I'm just saying it is typically more, women do tend to gossip more. They do tend to care about, how they like to fight. Yeah. Women like to try to destroy each other with false compliments and have this psychological warfare with each other. It's all very feminine. Yeah. Men actually get in front of each other. They have a problem. They talk it out, or they just fight. And then it's over and they shake hands, or one of them's unconscious.
You're right.
And that's just how men typically, they don't squirm around and do all these fucking passive aggressive things, because women do that because generally their fights are boring. They pull each other's hair.
Slap fight.
And one gets a hold of the other one's hair and it just turns into a boring fight. That's why, thank God, the UFC makes it so you can't get to the hair. Because all real girl fights are just one person gets a hair and then it's it. That's why you can't have long hair and fight. Traditionally, it's transvestigation.
Who doesn't want to go on a transvestigation?
It's a new movement.
This is fun.
Claims prominent individuals, particularly women, are seeking. Can we see the list? Can we see the prominent list?
Oh, where's this list? Okay.
Dude, and there's some people I know who have really good brains on their shoulders who are a little convinced, who I can tell when I talk to them are more convinced that she is a man than not, especially Macron, right? But also Michelle and Schumer. Those are the three big ones, I think, but there's got to be more. Can you just ask? You see, what you do is you got to go to ChatGPT because it goes right to everything. Just go to ChatGPT and say, what are the most prominent targets of trans investigation?
Transvestigation.
Now, I know Candace was on point with the Blake Lively shit, but that wasn't too hard to be on point. It's kind of like my critique of Alex Jones. All that information is already out there if you Google, and it's pretty simple. Jeffrey Epstein was indicted in Florida, and everyone knew what he was doing for a long time. So when Alex Jones was sounding the bell, it's all you had to do was Google Florida news Jeffrey Epstein, and you would get all the same information that he had. It's just nobody cared because the news networks are all owned by Jews, and so they weren't picking it up. George Bush duck.
There's no Wei Shang-Shing, but
no Wei Shang-Shing. So I just do the George Bush duck here. Yeah. Okay, we got some good ones on here. We got some good ones. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. I guess if you're a tall chick, you're sus. If you're a tall chick, you're sus. So some of the targets are Michelle Obama. We know about that one, Michael. Taylor Swift, Serena Williams. She's muscular. Megan Fox, I wouldn't have seen coming.
Nope.
I wouldn't have seen coming.
Very passable.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, I would not have seen coming. Lady Gaga, I wouldn't have seen coming. Justin Bieber, I do see coming. He does look like Elliot Page.
Pretty. Yeah.
He's a pretty boy. So you go, was this boy once a girl? Michael Jackson, they couldn't have done that back then. So that one is really far-fetched. They didn't have the technology yet to make it as good as it was. But he does have a high voice, so it does make you wonder, and I see. All you need is just a little evidence.
Oh, so wait, no, that's the reverse. That Michael Jackson is secretly a woman.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He transitioned into a man.
Yeah, but trans. So I was saying, like, he does have the high voice. So,
right.
So I think for the conspiracy theorists, all they need to see is a little opening, a voice, maybe something they say, long arms, over a certain height, you know? Maybe a little bit of cheekbone, something. Also, George Bush's wife.
Now, what is?
Oh, I forgot about that one. George Bush the first Bush.
Oh, yeah.
They say his wife was. They're going. Barbara Bush was definitely a guy.
Mama Bush.
Yeah, dude, definitely a guy.
Yeah, I can believe
that's
that
another one they thrown in there. Definitely a guy.
That one's got some legs.
Yeah, because she looks like an accountant. That's a guy. And then Pope Francis.
This is weird. So what's gender inverted?
Some theories expand to the full-blown world orders conspiracy claiming all global gender inverted mean they switched. They're switched. That all the global elites were once one, and like it's like a thing that they do in the Illuminati because it's hot or whatever. I don't know. So let's look at some of the underlying motivations. Oh wait, Barack's in there as well. So Barack was a girl too. Mistrust of authority and celebrity, control of gender norms, and of course transphobia. They're fringe. I don't know if they're fringe anymore. People like to call Jewish conspiracies fringe. Not anymore. The conspiracies are fun. If you're researching this topic for academia, journal, let's ask ChatGPT one question. What are some of their arguments? What are some of the strong arguments that this is true? and I just want to know. I just want to know what they're thinking. I just want to know body measurement and ratios, shoulder to hip ratios, jawline, brow ridge, hands, if they're too big, too square, finger length ratio. These guys are really doing some inspection. This is like the red light carpet for people who got nothing to do. Neck size, Adam's apple, or skull shape are scrutinized. They're like Nazis. Let me see. This is a little too long here. Also, this is too long for a man. Let me also take this one here. This one here also, you can see there was a formal Adam's apple on this specimen. Do they call them specimens too? They use blurry or altered childhood photos and say the person looked like the opposite sex. Fashion, voice, or behavior. They claim certain clothing, makeup styles, vocal tones are not natural for that sex. If a woman is muscular, athletic, Serena Williams, Michelle Obama, male-coded. They claim that's male-coded. The elite, the Illuminati, Hollywood are pushing an androgyny or gender inversion agenda. Claim that male-female roles are being flipped to mock humanity or fulfill occult goals. Okay, let's say it's true. We've done everything else. Maybe this is the only fun we have left. Have you ever thought about transitioning yourself and experiencing a whole new life? You know what it's like to fuck. What is it like to get fucked? Maybe it's good. I don't know. Why is everyone so certain everything's bad? I like this statement here. A lot of it relies on visual guesswork. They disregard normal human diversity. Michelle Obama, Serena Williams are black women, raising concerns of racialized misogyny and how femininity is policed. Yeah, because you know what? Nobody said that really about, but maybe it's because the possibility wasn't there. Nobody said that about Martina Navratilova. And I mean, she was brolic. She was fucking jacked. More jacked than me. So, but maybe it's because the surgery didn't exist yet. Let's look for the evidence that it's not true. I want to see the evidence that it's not true. Let's just stick with Macron because that's the one people are most into right now. Michelle is just kind of, I think people are confirmed on that. With Michelle, they're just going, that's Michael, and that's all there is to it. But Macron. Also, she gave him a pretty nice slap.
Yeah,
so that was
school mush.
And if they measure the force of that, I think that might have been a male push. Okay. They have photographs. An altered image of a young male model was falsely presented as a childhood photo of Brigitte Macron. The original unedited images was taken by a photographer that does not depict Macron. Family resemblance claims that a childhood photo of Jean-Michel Trudeau resembles Brigitte Macron, used to support the theory. One of my daughters looks so much like me, it's insane. Like, if you look at my baby pictures and you look at her, I showed her a picture of me as a kid and I said, who's that? She said, it's me. And I said, that's actually your father. And I was like, and then I realized that my parents didn't make me look like a boy. And, my hair was like a little longer or whatever. But in the future, let's say I get really famous, you could easily take those photos and just go, my daughter, you could say that's her and she was a boy and she trans, or that I was a girl and I trans. You could just do it. You just got to really care about this stuff and you really, really got to have a lot of time on your hands. A lot of different things to focus on. I'm just trying to focus on getting a few extra hours of sleep because I'm so busy with family and this. So that's really is that the only evidence? Just that?
That's it.
That's not a lot to go on. A photo? Has any uncle disappeared or something or gone off the grid? Brigitte Macron's appearance and personal history are made without credible evidence and are rooted in... Was a lawsuit did someone get sued for this? Was there any legal ramifications from this? Did a court of law actually happen? And did she take it to court or whatever? Can you just get away with this? We don't know. We're going to find out for you in live time. Okay, so there was something that happened. 2 women were sued. Wow, and found guilty of defamation. But then when you're a conspiracy theory, you just go, this is the establishment doing what it does, right? Like there's no end. It's just if you're committed to that. The only thing that would convince them is if you put your penis in her vagina, and then even then they would go, it's a fake vagina. There's always a way to move the goalposts, right? Like, so this is what you got to do, Bridget. You have to make a porn with Macron, but a close-up one, right? And that's it. People need to see the vag, and then they need to expect, then they got to take a fake vag and a real vag, put them next to each other, and see if it's true. So 2 women were actually sued in France for spreading these claims about the First Lady in 2021. Natasha Ray, independent journalist, Adina, whatever. So I bet you that the narrative is that they ostracized these women because they were telling the truth.
That's right.
Right. So she's a spiritual medium. Amadine Roy is a self-proclaimed, so she's not even being maligned. She calls herself a spiritual medium. She published a 4-hour YouTube video alleging that Brigitte Macron was born male under the name Jean-Michel Trudeau, who's actually her brother. The video gained significant traction, especially. So she filed a libel complaint against the 2 women. And this just happened, 2024. A Paris court found Ray and Roy guilty of slander. I don't know what the rules are for slander. What's the benchmark? What's the standard? So I won't comment on it. But something did happen. They were ordered to pay $8,000, not a lot, 8,000 euros in damages. So maybe she was right, and they were just making a public display. Oh, wait a second. To pay $8,000 in damages to Bridget Macron and then $5,000 to her brother, Jean-Michel Trudeau. So he's around? So how can we pull up a picture of him? Picture. Present picture. So how are they claiming that she's him if he's alive? Is there a picture of them together? Whoa, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Who's that? Because they look alike.
Mm-hmm. You never see them in the same photo.
Are they ever? So can we ask present photo of the two of those two together, and then we're out of here. We gave the people the tintillating stuff that they want. Did you get the tickle when you listened to this episode? Are you intrigued? Because I am right now. I want to see a present photo, and if there's not, she's definitely got a dick.
Nothing.
Very interesting. I'm on board. I'm convinced. I am absolutely convinced. I am sorry, Candace. I mean, because there would at least be a photo of the two of them. All she would have to do is release a photo. Is there a present day photo? We can all do this at home. Maybe this is why people believe of Brigitte Macron and her brother. Macron and her brother. What was it? Jean-Michel
Trudeau. Trogne.
Yeah, Michel.
Rogneus.
Let's see. Survey says the verdict is she's a fucking man, dude.
Definitely.
She's a fucking man. And I'm not even joking. There's no public available photos of Brigitte Macron alongside her brother, Jean-Michel Trudeau. Jean-Michel maintains a private life, and there's limited public images of him. It's important to note we got to find one photo. All they would have to do is release one photo to end it. There's got to be one photo. I don't believe that he doesn't want photos taken of him and he wants to be private. No, there's no authentic present day photograph of the siblings together. That is fucking crazy. I agree. She's a man. She's got a dick. And that's just what it is. It's a gay relationship. And so is this Egyptian boxer or whatever this was. They're all men. And I'm a lady. I want to give a shout out to forthefree.art, music in Hawaii. Go check out their listings. Free music's free for, check out the bands in Hawaii. It's very cool. Also want to give a shout out to IndigoLabsAgency.com, social media, digital marketing, Nate Linder. Go check them out. I've worked with them. Marketing solutions backed by data, proven by impact. Shout out IndigoLabsAgency.com. Also want to give a shout out to rebels-raiders.com. Go check out their goat shirts. Go check out all their medical bags, slings, all the stuff, multicam, M81 Woodland camo colors for everything. rebels-raiders.com. Also want to give a shout out to Suds Auto Spa in Bridgeville, south of Pittsburgh, 412-564-5033. Give them a call. They got storage assets, car capsule units, paint protection, all ceramic coatings. They'll help your car look beautiful and clean. They will travel. The bigger the job, the farther they would travel, but they are south of Pittsburgh and Bridgeville. Also want to give a shout out to PCB Tech Art, as always, for our sign. They also got the Power Nest. Just go buy it. Put your phone and your charger together. Nice. The Power Sphere. It's beautiful. Makes your car smell great. Also, they'll design shit for you. PCB Tech Art. Use the code Yannis10 for 10% discount, and it's all you need to do. Also, that's it.